right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Good even fall to one and all. Good even fall to you, Mr. Vince Vargas. Good even fall to you, Dream 123. This is Warp Speed, and I hope you are doing well of health and sane of mind. I appreciate it that you decide to stay up late with us, late into the night, and perhaps early into the morning to address all things boxing and, you know what, life in general. We're going to talk about a couple of things about life, right? It mostly wins for the most part. Let's just talk about our personal wins because a lot of the time it seems like we spend addressing the victories of people that are foreign and strangers to us, right? Like, for example, I'm not too sure if you just witnessed this, but about 30 minutes ago or so, maybe less than that, my favorite female fighter and my crush, Miss Katie Taylor, she just had a fight, a three-peat fight between her and her arch nemesis, the Isla del Encantos, Miss Amanda Serrano. And of course, for the third time, Miss Katie Taylor beat her. Say what you will about Miss Katie Taylor's fights in the first and second fight between her and Amanda Serrano. You can say that she lost. You can say that she should have been disqualified in the second fight. Whatever you want to say about her, she took the dubs. She took the wins, and nobody can take that from her. But were you entertained? I guess that's really the question, right? As a big Katie Taylor fan, I wasn't. Whoa, look at that! Am I turning against my favorite female fighter? Hey, there's no loyalties in this game, right? The only loyalty that I have as a fan of the sport is for my own entertainment. That's my loyalty. This is why I watch the sport because I want to be entertained, and I wasn't. So we'll be talking about that, right? We'll be talking about tomorrow's fights. Massive Ring 3, Turkey Al Sheikh, Saudi Arabia's Riyadh Seasons presentation of Ring 3, which is going to be headlined by four fighters: Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Shiraz, Shakur Stevenson versus Mexico's William Zepeda. Camarón. We're going to be talking about the odds of who's going to win, how they're going to win, so forth and so on. I will ask people more knowledgeable than I for their opinions. But I did want to also, I don't want to be remiss and ignore some of the personal victories in our own lives, right? And I'll try and figure something out as far as my wins. But I know that one of our listeners, in fact, Mr. Vince Vargas himself, he's a winner. He's a winner in life. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about, bro? Well, so Mr. Vince Vargas and I were American muscle aficionados. We love vehicles that roar and they take up lots of space and they guzzle gas, right? And Mr. Vince Vargas has been dreaming about one vehicle in particular. And he's been sending me little messages. He's like, Warped, man, check this out. He showed me this car I didn't even know existed, right? When I looked at it, I was like, wow, that is a hell of a car. It's like, I want that. First off, I don't even know how he discovered that vehicle exists, right? And the fact of the matter is, he wanted that vehicle for himself, and he found the right model. He found the dream vehicle. And when he tried to execute the transaction between this seller and himself, the person went coy, the person went shy. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't respond or took the vehicle out from marketplace. little, little loss right there for Vince. He lets me know I'm all bummed out about it, but he ended up finding the same incredibly rare vehicle, maybe a little downgrade from the other one that he had, but nonetheless, a perfect condition right? A beautiful vehicle. Yeah, and when you're comparing these vehicles, I'm telling you, the first one that he looked at and the second one, it's you're just looking at being nitpicky, to tell you the honest truth, right? But Mr. Vince Vargas, he manifested his dream vehicle. Remember the dream. Remember the laws of dream. Remember the laws of attraction. They say if you wish it, they will come. They made a whole movie about it, Field of Dreams, right? And one of the cheapest ways to realize your dream is just to write it down on a piece of paper. Keep it right there by, I don't know, a coffee table or a table by your headrest, so that whenever you wake up in the morning, you look at this piece of paper, you read it out loud, or you read it to yourself, whatever. Just look at the piece of paper, and whatever you wrote down on it, just look at it every day. And before long, unbeknownst to you, but obviously with actions taken, all of a sudden, those things that you wrote down will become reality. All the richest, most powerful people have done it. Elon Musk believes in the laws of attraction, the powers of the mind. Jeff Bezos, Napoleon Bonaparte, the Pope, all of these people have dreams that they never allow themselves to forget and outgrow. They never allow the realities and the hardships and the difficulties and challenges of life to crush their dreams. Because that's what happens when life happens, right? All these other distractions, all of these things that pressure you and distract you and move you one way and pull you another, those things take away from what you want to realize in life. And every time something pulls you to the side, it takes longer for you to realize your dreams. And the thing about life, right, is that life is never promised. You have a breath right now. You may not tomorrow. Think about that. You have breath right now, but you may not have a breath tomorrow. Once you start looking at the world, your existence, as something that could end this very instant, you change your philosophy. You become a better person. You become more ambitious. You learn to say hello. You learn to smile. You learn to be optimistic. You look up to the stars and you say, I can reach that. Right? So when you write these little things down and you always have these dreams tethered to something physical that you are never allowing yourself to forget, you keep that dream in the back of your mind. Now you are talking about the subliminal, the things that run inside of your mind that are subconscious. They continue to draw and form themselves in your mind and your memory. And again, unbeknownst to you, before long, you realize those dreams. And that's exactly what I think happened to Mr. Vince Vargas. He found his vehicle, life pulled him away. And then, because he wasn't going to allow himself to have his dreams crushed, he held on to the belief that one day he would get that dream vehicle, and he got it. A great victory for my friend, Mr. Vince Vargas. Thank you very much, Vince, for letting me know person who thinks about you, because I'm so happy, so ecstatic that you have a victory. A little personal victory of mine, right? I didn't die this weekend. Right? Man, I took I took a drive up north to the state of Oregon to visit family. And man, guys, I'm not gonna say that I'm a bad driver at night, but yo, since from Vacaville, California, which is just a little past the the Golden State's capital of Sacramento. From there, it was around 9, 10 o'clock at night. After nearly driving 30 years, 30 hours in the road. See, I'm still tired. Almost 30 hours on the road, and only on 3 hours of sleep. I was swerving and falling out of the lanes, just nearly crashing. My eyes so heavy. Energy drinks were doing nothing. I made it back home. That's my small victory. But now I want to give the opportunity to Dream. Dream, are you there?
Hello,
Dream, how do you do?
how do you do? Um,
Yo, man, I need you to tell me of a small victory, whatever it is, man. Something that happened to you that you would say, "Yup, I took a little dub there."
like something like what do you mean? Like a close call, what do you mean? A close call
Any,
or like pivot or what do you mean?
yeah, any little win in your life, like I don't know, maybe you were looking at a girl, you were very interested in her, and then you approached her, and she said, "Yeah, I'll go on a date." Or maybe you had time for yourself to go to the beach, and you've been thinking about it for weeks. Just something that you wanted to accomplish, and you got it done. A little victory, whatever it may be.
That's a good question, actually. Um, I guess just I don't know, like as of recently, um, nah, never mind. It's little wins outside of life that it's not necessarily like it's more like mental things that around my life that have happened, you know. But in a that affected me in a positive way, pretty much. But yeah, so I don't know how to put that in the context, but how can I put it? Yeah, man, it's just I guess it's just the job that I have, the amount of time I've had this job pretty much, but that's it really.
Mhm.
Like,
It's
cause the longest I've ever had a job with it is with this company. So it's like almost like 3.5 years or
It
getting to
seems a
4.
little longer than that, bro. Because I mean,
Yeah,
as far as I remember, you've been there for quite a minute, and I
yeah,
definitely understand why you would consider that a victory. You yourself are
yeah,
pretty young. You yourself have many other opportunities, like young people do, intelligent, experienced people do, and the fact that you are happy enough to stay in one place working for the same employer means that one, they're either paying you well. Two, your superiors have trust in you, and that's why they keep you there. And three, they're content with your output. So you are happy with them, they are happy with you, and usually that means doors open up, right? So, and the fact that you've been there for so long means that, in the personal sense, you're at least maturing, right?
yeah, yeah. I've been it's like a traveling job. You say you went to Vacaville. I go way
No, no,
further
no,
than
no, no, no. I I went all the way to Oregon,
I
to
know.
Portland, and when I was coming back down south, after only having slept 3 hours, around Vacaville, which is still
Mm.
around 2.5 hours from where we live. From that moment up until here, I was swerving in and out of the road like a drunkard because I couldn't maintain myself fully awake. That's what I meant to say.
Well, that's pretty much I do that much time on the road at times. They'll send me out to like places like Auburn, which is like past Sacramento, up in the Sierra Nevadas, and I'm gonna go there. It's probably like 4 hour drive, and then just depending on traffic, 5 hours back. But I'll
Mhm.
do that in one day, and I'm content, because it's just that's easy, just driving, Just put,
Mhm.
it's just easy. But I get what you're talking about because I mean I avoid putting myself in that situation just because like that's why I don't like going out. Like I'm not an alcoholic because it easily affects my next day, you know? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna like drink, It sounds fun going to the bar on the weekday. I'll do that maybe once every freaking blue moon, like once a year maybe, once a
Mhm.
year, and that's because I'm not an alcoholic, but yeah, I think that's why. It just like I yeah, like I get on roofs, so I have a little bit of a fear of me missing a step on the ladder type of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can easily get hurt, bro. And then when people just when some people can do this and go to the bar and they all they do next day is just talk to people, you know. So it's a lot different.
yeah, no, and I get it, and I agree with you. I would say the fact that you've been with the same employer for so long and this type of economy, right? Not only demonstrates that you're happy, they're happy, and mostly you're maturing, right? Because again, I wanted to just emphasize you're pretty young, and most people when they're young, like you, they don't really care about being, 100% fully responsible for maintaining the job for so long. Because they think, oh, well, they feel eternal, right?
Yeah.
Woe is me. No, it's not gonna affect
Well,
me.
because when you when you lose
Happy-go-lucky
jobs,
types.
because especially the pandemic, and
Hmm.
then when you have like other jobs that you're just not happy with, you're
Hmm.
just like, dude, I'm trying to stay with the job for at least I remember in my head, I was like, I'm just trying to stay with the company for at least a year,
Yep, yep.
because and I was just like, dude, like, can I just keep a job? And I remember making it to 2 years, and then or not even 2 years, it was like 20 months, and then the pandemic happened, and I was like, damn, that it was my favorite job. I was like, dude, I freaking love this job, and then boom, I get this job, and I'm like, dude, this is the best job, you
Yeah,
know?
that's progress, bro. That's a victory.
Yeah.
You know who didn't enjoy a victory today?
Oh,
Miss Amanda Serrano.
uh,
Hey, did you watch the fight, Dream?
yeah, yeah, it was boring. It was boring. It was
Right. I
just
mean, you have to compare it to
okay.
the first and the
Okay,
second fight, right?
okay. And in a sense, I appreciated, the technicality that they brought to it, and
Hmm.
they really like they try to outthink each other instead of really smother each other. So they kind of matched each other's energy, because one could have easily started engaging. I mean, in parts of the fight, Serrano would actually engage, and then Katie Taylor would actually counter. But I just feel like Katie Taylor did a lot better, bro. Like she probably won the unanimously on this one right here, and Serrano really needed her to engage, to like really get some more uh offense off, and actually get clean hits, but Katie Taylor kept it boring. And honestly, bro, this is
Very boring.
yeah, yeah, she kept it boring, and you know, that a win's a win, and Katie Taylor's a better fighter, and Serrano's just Serrano. There ain't no better. That's 1B right there, So it's just Serrano's so much smaller, But even though they're the same height, it's like Serrano's just so much smaller. Like she don't have that muscle build, you know. And it's a little, too late to really put on more muscle, or it just wouldn't help her. Like she's just not
No,
built like
I think she could. It's just unfortunate because, like you stated, she did look a little smaller. Yeah, it may be shorter, than Katie Taylor, but she's had about 3 years since the first fight took place to acclimate herself and really get up to that weight of 135, 140, and she still looked pretty small in size compared to Katie. I don't think that was really the issue. I just think it was the negative type of fight that Katie Taylor brought that maybe threw Mr. Rondo off of her game, right? Because she never had to chase after Katie. I mean, Katie would come over here with her head. I know that you accused her of using her head. Go over there head first, and I think maybe that's another one of those things that messed up Katie Taylor's fight style, right? She's been accused of using her head, leading in with her head to fight. And I think she took so much of that to heart. So she figured, okay, I'm going to stand more upright. I'm going to throw more jabs and maintain my form instead of like lowering myself in height to her level. And that made it so that she had to fight a type of fight that she's not used to, which is just the fact that she's more balanced. She has to throw from a distance. So the distance, she confused it with maintaining a distance away from Mr. Rano instead of just using her jab to gain reach. So it was just a very bad matchup. It's incredible for me to say because I'm looking at all of the prior historic three-piece or four-piece fights that we've had before: Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward, any of the Marcus Barrera, Arce, Vargas, whatever combos you want to put, Pacquiao, Marcus, whatever fights you want to put up there, right? Any three fights. Every time that they've gone up there to fight, they become more aggressive, more careless, and more willing to engage and to punish each other because they're used to each other's power. They used to each other's style, and they no longer fear each other. In fact, they embrace that same kind of level of aggression. And with this fight, it was a complete opposite. I don't think I've ever seen a trilogy fight that was so unexciting, so opposite of what we've seen before. Have you ever seen something like that?
You were talking about the Serrano first Serrano fight, right?
Well, the first Serrano fight was very action packed. The second
Yeah.
Serrano fight was very, very action packed and bloody. And this one, everybody came out unblemished. They didn't throw a lot of punches. They didn't engage. They didn't go toe to toe. It was Mr. Rano chasing after Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor just making her miss because she's obviously shorter and just comboing her with little pitter patter punches or a couple of counters here and there. But it was a very boring fight. I've never seen a third fight that was so boring. If you look at all the trilogy fights in the past.
Yeah, it's because they know each other so well. You know, they have like 20 rounds with each other, and to them, it's like it's not worth it anymore. You know, like it took so much out of them. Uh, they'll probably both end up retiring if they both have that type of fight again. You know, because yeah, they just leave it out on the line, and yeah, just with Katie Taylor, bro. Like the second fight, she was using her head too much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just sneezing right now. Ugh, sorry. So
Man, I heard every single one of those boogers, bro. Go right up into
yeah,
your brain again.
yeah. So right, but yeah, dude. So it just she was using her head too much, so it kind of yeah. I guess you can do that, you know, but like with Serrano, bro, like she was doing so much in that second fight. She should have won really like the both fights, you know. But it just hard to tell with all the headbutts, you know. Just body language says Amanda had a hard time because of those headbutts and the way she was leaning forward. You know, in the
Yeah.
first fight, I was like 100% sure Serrano won. You know, like Serrano had,
Really, the first fight.
yeah, because Taylor was hurt plenty of times, bro. Taylor was hurt plenty of times.
Are you sure it wasn't on the second fight that she was very hurt?
Maybe I gotta watch it back, but I'm pretty sure the first one she was freaking hurt, dude. And then
Yeah.
yeah, and then the just the third one, this was like the most unanimous. It's like it was hard for me to even like, argue otherwise. You know, so Serrano's just there she's still a legend, you know, she's still one of the greats, and that's all right, man. Like, Joe Frazier still was still great. Uh it still goes down as one of the greats, George Foreman lost to Ali, still considered as one of the greats, so Serrano's just a smaller fighter coming up, daring to be great,
It
you
was a
know.
dud, bro. I think that fight was a complete dud. I think it
Yeah.
disappointed everybody that's seen the prior fights. You got to understand one thing, right? When we look at Serrano one, Serrano versus Taylor one, that fight was fight of the year.
Okay.
One of the fights of the year. I know we had about four fights of the year that year, 3 years ago, and then 2.5 years ago, or I mean, 1.5 years ago, we had another fight of the year between those two ladies, right? Or at least fight of the year contenders, and that's what these people in New York expected that they would get. They expected that they would get over there. And remember the significance of these two prior fights, especially the first one, that legitimized the sport of female boxing. Like, no more can you say that women's fights sucked, right? And in case you thought that that was just a one-off, they repeated it again. They went a second go at it, and it was equally as exciting, even more violent because of the headbutts. Now you saw women that can actually take abuse, and not complain, not bitch about it, right? They were being illegally struck. They never quit. They never complained, and even when they complained, they continued to go out there and bleed and fight. That's what people expected, and it should
Oh,
have, because Katie Taylor doesn't fight that way. So
yeah.
Mr. Mendes Serrano fights much more aggressively, and I think it was a dud, bro. In fact, the other fight that people thought was gonna live up to the hype, which was Alicia Baumgartner versus that Spaniard
Oh,
girl. What a horrible fight, bro! And
yeah.
there's
That
no
was,
difference between that fight and Katie Taylor versus Serrano. It was the same
yeah.
exact thing.
I mean, I liked it because it's still Alicia Baumgartner. So
Man,
yeah,
bro.
I was like,
Oh,
keep
bro.
going.
Let me
Wow.
ask you something.
I was
What
watching it. Hold on. I was watching it. I
yeah.
was like, wow. Oh my. I was cracking up. Like,
You have like a
okay.
mean little crush on her,
Yeah. Yeah. But
Oh, man.
yeah. Now the dude, like, besides the other fights, bro. Did you watch Savannah Marshall versus Sadeja Green?
Yeah.
Dude, they robbed Savannah. Don't you think?
You know, it was a very
They
okay.
robbed Savannah, bro.
Okay,
Savannah,
so I'll,
dude.
I'll be honest with you.
Uh,
Yeah, tell me. I want to think, cause
okay,
I'll be honest with you. I sort of like was in and out with that fight. I had my feet
okay.
up in the sofa and reading boxing content.
Nah, dude. I watched like the first 7 rounds. I was like, dude,
Hmm.
Savannah got this in the bag. I was just like, I would even like, I'd even bet, but I was like, I'm learning to like not bet by just watching the fight. As stupid as it sounds, I'm just like, let me see if I'm gonna regret this decision, type of thing.
Oh, okay. So you
Like,
place imaginary bets and then you see
yeah,
what would have happened. Oh, okay,
yeah,
to prepare you for the future.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
was like,
hilarious, bro.
yeah, because I was like, okay, I was gonna put $100 on a knockout because I
Yeah,
really thought Savannah was gonna knock out
yeah.
Savannah Green, and
Ray thought the same thing.
dude, it's just stylistically, and yeah, stylistically, it worked out the other in Shadeja's favor,
Yeah.
because it turned into her style fight. You know, what
Whoa,
you
whoa,
call
whoa,
it?
whoa, whoa. So it turned
Uh,
into a Shadesha Green style of fight, but you
yeah,
still think she robbed Savannah Marshall.
yes, because Shadeja Green, uh, low key was doing what Clarissa Shields was doing, except she cannot keep her hand up after she lands a baseball hit. Like she can't stay clean after, like she can't stay disciplined after that hit. Because Savannah takes all that, to the chin. So she's gonna throw right when you're throwing, you know, and then that's why she kept getting landed. Like, yes, you landed that big hit, but you went 4 feet the other way because, like, it's all about body language. Like it looked
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it looked like you got the worst of it. But in reality, you
yeah.
punched harder. But and there was some instances where she actually had Savannah hurt. You know,
Yeah.
and dude, but even then, like it was just too late. I just felt like Savannah won that fight and she got robbed. And it was at least by the 7 rounds. I gave it to 2 to Savannah, so it was probably 5-2 heading into the eighth. That's only because Shadeja was finally landing a left hook, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Ooh, she's coming back." And
Yeah,
then
I think that's what I saw.
yeah, and then after that I listened, and then I kept hearing them. Oh, she's picking up her energy back, and because I know me and Andre Ward, I was glad Andre Ward was calling this fight only because he sees what I see, you know,
Mhm.
and he always like he thinks how I think, and I was like, I'm gonna just listen to him talk, and then he's like saying like how he's up, and Chris Mannix saying he's up, and yeah, I just feel like Shadeja is not as clean as a Clarissa Shields, but she's like explosive like her.
Mhm.
But yeah, so she
Okay.
cleared
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. That
And
so
I think they need to make that fight happen now with Clarissa and Shadeja. Fuck it.
yeah. So they haven't fought before.
No, but they have beef.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's the fight that sort of fell through the cracks. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I wouldn't mind watching that.
Shadeja, I think like spit on Clarissa Shields once upon a time.
No, it was the other way around, I believe.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no. I don't know if it was a spit. It was more like Shadesha Green was a big fan of Clarissa Shields, and
Uh,
and they were. And I think Clarissa Shields went over there to their gym to get in some work. I'm not saying necessarily they sparred against each other, but I do know that she tried to approach her and like basically like tell her you're a hero of mine. I look up to you and everything. And Shields, always a hater, she sort of brushed her off and gave her some attitude. That I remember. That's what happened. And in fact, I think maybe Miss Shadesha Green said those things, and that's where their disagreement, their dispute stems from. The uh, the sense, the demeanor of superiority that 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 Shields displayed to her when she was an up and comer. I think that's what it was. But yeah, no, I agree. Now that Miss Shadesha Green secured all those belts, unified, and I don't think it was for disputed, just unified belts, and did it in Netflix. Now that fight between her and Clarissa Shields is just much more massive. In fact, who else can Shields fight now, right?
yeah.
Dream, did you see the fight with Scottney and was it Jamilet Mercado?
I watched the last parts of it. That's when I started watching really the
Yeah,
whole fight. Yeah.
yeah, another undisputed, not undisputed, but another unification fight between a Mexican, one of the longest reigning champions, Jamilet Mercado, Yami. She fought uh, Scottney. What is her first name?
Ellie.
Oh man, Ellie
Ellie.
Scottney. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And man, she just, you got to understand that Ellie Scottney only has 11 fights, bro, right? And Jamilet has like 30 or something. Like she's been around the block, right? Very feisty, very capable fighter, but she performed very flatly. And Miss Scottney was just up on her game, bro. Both of them took a lot of damage. Both of them had a lot of facial wear and tear. So if you just showed up to the announcement of who won, then you would have thought, man, what a war. And to tell you the truth, it really was, because Jamilet Mercado must obviously hit very strong, but the cleaner punches, the more aggression, even walking the Mexican counterpart uh, back, Miss Scottney just made it easy, really convincing that she won. It was a very good fight. In fact, all of those fights really lived up to it, man. Did you see what was that fight? Sugar Neeks, Shanika Sugar
Oh yeah.
Neeks Johnson.
Yeah.
She fought the, what was her name? Sharita Metcalf,
Yeah, I seen
bro.
that.
Bro, that was a great fight. I mean, that it just cemented Johnson's like allure, bro.
Yeah.
She became the first undisputed Australian female fighter. In fact, any undisputed Australian in history, and it was a dominant win, bro. Like, man, what a fight, bro! What a fight,
Yeah, she's good.
and she's cute.
She's a little robotic, but I think she's
She's sexy.
yeah, she's bad, but it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that like I don't know. I just feel like man, I don't know. I just feel like all these chicks are beatable, you know, and I'm not gonna
yeah.
make a. I'm not gonna hold them because they're females, you know, like they should be better, you know, because I see Clarissa Shields and I'm like she's like the example, you know, and I'm like dude, it's like she's built like a dude, but she's a female, you know, and that's all because of work ethic and she's like probably the most explosive, you know, female in boxing. You know, like no one comes close to her. She's the
And then
only
even
one that has.
Serrano.
There's only one that's like Serrano's like one of those people that have been doing it so long that you needed to see her in her prime. You know, because in her prime she was just nonstop. You know, and she's been big since like I've been in middle school, bro. Like think about that. Ever since I've been in middle school, she's been headlining.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, yeah, I understand. Hey, let me ask you something, because look, this fight card was massive. Like, the whole matchups, they all had potential to be great, and for the most part, 5 out of the 7 fights lived up to the hype. Right? Tomorrow we have this very great fight lineup. Right? We have so many very good matchups. Do you think it's going to be a similar night to this? Like, for example, the main events, Hamza Shiraz, which we know can also be a back footer. We know that he can also make it boring, and we know that he
uh,
can actually lose the fight and still get a win. Um, do you think he's gonna put up a great fight against Edward Berlanga, and also, of course, Shakur Stevenson Zepeda, or can it be a snooze fest like we just saw today? Because that's what we have seen from these fighters before. I mean, if Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano and Bumgarner and her opponent can put up such stinkers when they've never done that before, can we expect these guys that have put on stinkers before do it tomorrow?
they have the potential to, but
Yeah.
they so with the David Morrell fight and the Imam
Mm.
Qatar fight, bro, like nothing indicates to me that it's not happening. So,
Oh, okay. You're talking about how David Morrell did not show up to make weight today. He did not appear. And with the Kotaev's allegations, well, actually, not allegations, in fact, his suspension from the International Testing Agency, the ITA, that recommended he being suspended for 2 years, not to fight until 2027, and somehow Turkey Al Sheikh has put him into a fight card, knowing that he has that history of having not passed the drug test. Do
well,
you
guess what?
think all of those things indicate David Morrell is still going to fight, even
No,
though he didn't go up to make weight?
no, it's fine. It's happening still. But the reason
Wait, so
why,
David Morrell made weight then?
yeah, he made weight.
When? When?
Uh, behind closed doors. So they made weight. He made weight already.
Whoa, whoa,
But
whoa, whoa! Wait. Let me
drug
get this
test
straight.
that drug test that you're talking about is
Yeah.
over a year old.
No,
He's
I know
already
it
served.
happened. Yeah, it
Yeah,
happened like a year and a half ago.
yeah. It's he's already served his suspension, so he's already good. He's fighting Morel, and he's made weight. It's just I don't know what happened.
No, see, because that's the thing. Okay, you're saying that David Morrell made weight, even though it wasn't in public, so nobody was there to see it. His opponent, every other fighter in the card tomorrow, made weight, showed up and made weight, and then David Morrell made weight when nobody's seeing him.
I guess so.
Because I mean, have you did you see today's weigh-in? Did you see David Morrell in any juncture of that fight?
No, I didn't. Not at all.
And you were watching it right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Neither did I.
Yeah, me neither. But I kept seeing them all week, in the face-offs and all that. So yeah,
What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna research
yeah,
why didn't David Morrell
yeah. Do
show
your
up?
research. So let me tell you my prediction on the Hamza and the Edgar fight. Right,
Uh huh.
I think Hamza is gonna box the shit out of Edgar Berlanga, but I want Berlanga to win. You know, like I am not confident in Berlanga's ability to catch Hamza, bro. I think Hamza will eat those punches and just outbox this guy. And I think he'll make it look easier than he did with Carlos. Carlos had a better shot. Um and yeah, so it's just Berlanga has a puncher's chance and he does anything to get that shot in, you know? So that's what's gonna get him hurt, but that's also might be his blessing, like his will. So Berlanga is gonna give us a good fight. That's why I feel like he's gonna be like the highlight of the night because of how much heart he displays, and he's gonna make it a close fight and all that. But Hamza's just a disciplined fighter, bro. I want Berlanga to knock him out though. You know,
Whoa. Wait. Man, okay, you're all over the place. But, okay, so you're saying Hamza Shiraz is gonna beat Edgar Berlanga. I think you said he's not gonna knock the shit out of him, but yet you want Edgar, you want Edgar to knock him out,
yeah.
bro. It must be very late in your part of the world, bro,
I'm
because
trying.
you're
It's hard to
probably
be.
sleeping, man. You're sleeping.
Hey, it's hard to be
Uh,
a Berlanga fan. I gotta keep it real with you.
oh, okay. All right. Why? Why is that, bro? Why? Why? Because
Huh?
I feel the same way. I can
Because
explain to you why, but
it
why do
takes
you
so
feel
much.
it's hard?
Because hating Berlanga,
Uh-huh.
it it's bad for the soul. It's like, bro, you just
What
gotta
the?
accept it. You just gotta accept the fact that he's a star at this point. You know, there's
True,
other
true.
people who suck too. Look at you know who are champions.
Bro, man, you're like you say something good and something bad at the same time, bro. That's
Well, not
hilarious.
not suck. I'm not saying suck too. Sorry, let me take that back.
Mhm,
There's other people who are worse than Berlanga.
mhm,
That are world champions, and that's
mhm.
Rolly. But and and I like Rolly,
Bro, Rolly is a two division champion. Right now, he's a two belt holder.
and that's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
it's like if Berlanga can do it, I mean, if he can do it, I think Berlanga can too. You know,
Okay, so wait. So explain yourself. Okay, you think Hamza Shiraz can outbox this guy and even knock him out, according
it's
to you
good
with SHIT, but why do you want Edgar to knock him out?
because I want Berlanga to test the other guys' chins at 168. Like this fight, I don't want. I don't want this fight. Like
What?
I want Berlanga to fight a real 168 pounder. This guy's
Oh, okay. So
this
you're
guy's
hinting at
moving
the
up.
fact that Hamza Shiraz is stepping up in weight to 168, even though his last fight, he, according to many people, should have lost the fight with Adames, Carlos
Bro,
Adames.
bro, this is all part of Turkey's plan. This is another reason why. I don't want his plan.
Conspiracy talk.
I don't want his plans. Uh, I don't want his plans to go through, pretty much. I do not want Hamza to fight Canelo next. So I want Berlanga to knock him out. That's what they're trying to set
I
up.
love it, bro. I love it. So
That's what they're
you
trying to
do
set up.
think there is the conspiracy between Turkey Ali Sheikh and maybe the judges to have
Probably,
certain fighters win in order to make certain fights happen?
maybe.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I think the perception that Turkey Ali Sheikh would like certain fighters to win. I think that's a truthful perception. I think it's an honest perception to think that Turkey Ali Sheikh has a preference for Devin Haney and Shakur Stevens and Hamza Shuras to win, right? I mean, he's made it obvious. In fact, he is famous for having wished Luke Tyson Fury, he wished that he would stop the rabbit, right? Um, which is Alexander Usyk. So we know that Turkey carries his heart in his sleeve. So we can take him for his word when he says, I want you to stop him. I want you to win. I have plans for you, Hamza. If you win, you get Canelo, right? You don't want that fight. Why
Mhm.
don't you want Hamza versus Canelo? I mean, because he doesn't deserve it. Is it because you think it's too easy of a fight for Canelo? Why wouldn't you want that?
Because who's Hamza? Like,
Well,
what
who's
has he done?
Edgar? Who's Edgar?
Uh, Like, th- I don't want this to repeat itself. Pretty much, like, I get
But who
who's
does
that.
Canelo? Who else
I
does he
get
fight
you
at
who's.
168?
It's like I get you who's Edgar, but that shit which doesn't justify anything. Like it doesn't. It should just stop it. Just stop
Well,
those fights. Those kind
well,
of fights.
let's admit.
You
Let's
know.
just be honest right here. There's nothing else that Canelo can do at
Yes, he can.
168.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Who?
He can
Who?
fight Bivol. He can
No,
fight.
at 168, bro.
He can fight 1 for 60. Yeah, for Bivol's still down to do it.
Bevol didn't. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, if that's up to Bivol, right? See, we've
Yeah,
talked about this before. Bivol is the opposite of the type of fighter that we should expect to see in the sport of boxing, right?
bro.
Like,
He
for
fought.
example, this is
Canelo
this
fought
is what
Skull,
Bivol
bro.
is. Yeah, no, I know, but look, in the case of Bivol, we see a fighter that is very content and happy, never testing himself, right? Dmitry Bivol has been at 168 for all of his life, right? He never goes up in weight, which is a true test of a pound for pound fighter, right? You move up in weight, being the smaller fighter usually comes with being shorter stature, shorter limbed, right? Lighter, and your power punches. uh, you go up in weight, you test your skills against bigger men. That means pound for pound, your skills transcend the challenges posed by bigger men or women, right? And Bivol has never done that. Bivol has never gone up to cruiserweight to test himself, and he was only willing to go down to 168 for quick, easy money against obviously a smaller stature, shorter limbed fighter that he already had beaten at his own weight class of 175. We can only give credit to Canelo for having tested himself and going up in weight, just like we can only give credit to Terence Bud Crawford for going up in weight and fighting Canelo. But we cannot give Canelo credit for fighting the naturally smaller, professionally smaller man. We should not give credit to Bivol for coming down to 168 to fight a fighter that he already beat, in which he still would have all the physical advantages, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: you have to take Bivol out of the equation because when they fought, it was a pretty boring fight, bro. I don't like to pay a premium price for boring fights. Canelo didn't look dominant at 175. Bivol couldn't stop a guy that fought as low as 147. It's embarrassing. I'm not willing to pay for those type of fights anymore. I think Canelo should stay at 168 and just maybe convince David Benavidez to come back down. And if
Well,
he
dude,
can't
he's
get
got
that guy,
options. He's
retire.
still, he's still got options, bro. Watch, bro. Like
And
he's
Hamza
still
Shuras
gonna.
is an option. I heard that, bro. I heard that. Okay, no, but I understand. Your gripe is with Turkey Ali Sheik. You don't want him to to maneuver the sport to make all of these things happen because they really don't make sense, and that means that he's too powerful of an individual, right? That's what we're getting at.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just like he doesn't get it. Like you cannot force these fights. Like he's really just rooting for an outcome, and then just like I don't know, like how to explain it. Like it seems so weird. You just like gotta let the dominoes fall like naturally. Like you want the real champ to be on top. You don't want to like kind of like I don't know, force an outcome in a sense. It's like we see it with the Hamza, with the whole Hamza thing, you know. So yeah, it's just like you know how Hamza, like he was on the ringside, the Carlos Adames fight in Hamza.
Uh,
He was like
mm,
really like suspicious, you know, like bro, there's no reason why you should be like talking to Hamza or just you know like you should
like
be
so
talking.
chummy.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like he doesn't get like yes, you can do it because you have a lot of money, but that's just not how the game goes. You know that like you can I don't know. It's just you can create your own league and have your own people fighting that. You know, and you can do
That's not a
whatever.
bad idea, by the way.
Yeah, and
And
hey, but when you have other people from other countries dealing with real professional networks and
mhm,
promoters, it's like
mhm.
sometimes clean money is better, you know. But right now, we'll take this. You know, all this Turkey stuff. Like Turkey's listening to someone. Sometimes he's listening. You know, as far as like making fights happen, putting cards together. But when it comes down to his own benefit, it's like a little weird energy, you know. But I can tell like when he doesn't care about a card, that's like when it's good, you know, almost because he's not being like like he's not favorite to like. I know he's talking shit to Shakur and all that, but he's talking about the outcome, the way the fight is. Like, don't no Tom and Jerry fights, you know. And I'm like, okay, he's not really rooting for anyone. He just wants an inner. That's kind of the same thing that Bob Arum does, you know. And you know, he just wants entertaining fights. So
You know, see,
yeah,
the reason why I tolerate, not only do I tolerate, I actually appreciate and I especially understand Turkey Al Sheikh is that, like I've mentioned before, Turkey Al Sheikh is what we consider to be a casual fan, right? Whenever you go into these boxing channels and everybody starts to have these disputes, and then you want to point your more profound knowledge of a certain boxing related topic against the other person, you point out their shortcomings, you point out their flaws, you let them know where they're wrong and you're right, and then what do you end that conversation with? You're a casual, right? And when we think of a casual, we think of a person that just shows up to the big fights, right? They only know boxing or boxers insofar as they are the big names, you know, because once it reaches into the mainstream, which is where the casuals reside, that's when you start thinking, okay, you're a casual, which means you're not a hardcore, which means you don't watch the B level, C level fighters. You only watch the big names. So you don't know how fights happen. You don't know what the road taken for these fighters it took in order to get to this moment. I do. I know the context. You don't. I can speak on this matter better than you because I know what happened. You don't, right? And and in the case of Turkey, you can call him a casual because he only wants the biggest fights, which means they involve the biggest, more notable names, right? Okay. Okay. When you go into these boxing venues and everybody starts to talk about stupid, fantasy fights or pound for pound list. Usyk is over Crawford. Next week is Canelo over everybody, right? Canelo fell to eighth place in the pound for pound rankings. Shakur Stevenson is number four. When you start thinking like that, you're basically saying these are the best fighters in the world in this successive order, right? So when you have somebody like Alexander Usyk, pound for pound number one, Terence Crawford, pound for pound number two, it makes no sense because those guys would never fight each other, right? Who cares who's the pound for pound? Because the only test of pound for pound is to go up in weight and make those fighters fight to see who comes out on top, right? And obviously, we know that Terence Crawford can never go up to 235 pounds to fight Alexander Usyk to know who the best fighter is. So those conversations of pound for pound are stupid, they're asinine, they're ridiculous, and a waste of time. But when you start thinking about pound for pound fighters that are in or around the same weight classes, and you have big money in it, and you can make those fights happen, then you will. Find out who's the best. Who's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? Canelo or Terence Bud Crawford? Oh, it's a stupid asinine question to ask Turkey because they're in different weight classes. And he snaps his fingers and he puts 50 million on the table. And all of a sudden, these fantasy fights are a reality. You see, I don't entertain those type of conversations where everybody's like, I wonder who would have won. Roberto Manos Zepeda Duran versus Terence Bud Crawford at 135. Bro, that's like 35-year gap difference. Why do you waste your time having those conversations? But here's the thing. Turkey Ali Sheik can take fantasy fights, fantasy matchups, and as far as he can convince those guys to put their John Hancock on a piece of paper, he can make those fights happen. You see, Turkey Ali Sheik is the multi-billionaire casual fan that dreams about boxing. He dreams about matchups, fantasy fights, and he can make him happen. So what's the problem?
You're the problem. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
He's the problem,
yeah,
right?
but yeah, man. So I don't know. It's just for me that like I guess the conversation just kind of goes away after a while. Like no one can really do anything about it because he's the money man, and everyone just dealing with it. I guess So I know Oscar's biting his tongue a lot. Because he wants to pretty much keep his. He's been making a lot more money since he's been coming to play. So uh, yeah, there's this other fight, bro. I forgot to mention Alberto Boyo versus Sobrel Matias.
Bro,
Who you
okay.
got?
You know what? Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. All right. Here. Alberto Puello, the Dominican Republic's champion, 24-0, 0 draws. He's going to be taking La Isla del Encanto Subriel Matias, 22 wins, 2 losses. One of those he redeemed himself, and the other one he lost to the Amparo, 0 draws. Both of these guys are knockout artists, especially Subriel Matias. He wins the victories that he has, all by knockout, and in fact, one of them by killing a man, right? They're going to be fighting for the WBC junior welterweight title, which is being currently held by the Dominican. Dream, who's going to win that fight and how?
That Dominican. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I
What
think
the?
Dominican, bro. Actually,
Wow.
yeah, because yeah,
Wow, if you read the comments on the Ring Magazine IG or on any of the other websites, everybody's saying Matthias is just going to run roughshod through this guy. What do you know that these guys don't?
uh, I think if you can go through my gauge, this is my gauge right here. It's it's the Russell win. If you can beat someone like Russell, who's also winning by knockouts, nothing more, nothing less. Like that's all he knows how to win, like by knockout. If you can like figure a dude out that's that high caliber of offense, like bro, I think he's like a threat to. I thought he was a threat to Haney, bro. Haney totally ducked him. You know, he was a problem, bro. And he's at 140. I was like, dude, but I get it. He's not known yet, but he will be. Um, anyways, with Boyo, if you can beat someone at that caliber, bro, I think you can do that um to Matias. Like I think Matias is kind of one dimensional. He's got a little more tools in the tool belt compared to like Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who's also one dimensional. He comes with a little more variety of punches. He actually throws downward, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like he throws like kind of like downward hooks. You know,
Mhm.
it's a crazy uh leverage that he has. For to throw those type of hooks, but Yeah, that's and he has
Those
this
type of
tight
weird,
deep.
yeah,
He has
those
a
type of
tight
weird punches are
defense.
very indicative of a very athletic individual, though.
Yeah, yeah, and also he's also really good at like his defense is kind of underrated. Like, and I'm not saying he's really good at picking shots or anything like that. I'm saying his shell defense, that in particular, like he has like the, you know who else had a good shell defense was Winky Wright. Winky Wright
George
was
Foreman.
known, yeah, George Foreman, but Winky Wright has this legendary because he's George Foreman is known for his power, and yeah, his crazy power and making it look easy the way he puts down his guys. But Winky Wright, bro, he had this like this shell where he kind of like just flexes and you ain't going through that shell, bro. Like just you just do I seen there's highlights of that defense and of him just doing just going forward on like just penetrating towards opponents going like trying to get to the center of the ring using that defense, using that shell defense. And it's that pretty much means you have like a strong back, you know that's like
Yep.
that's what that means. But what was I saying?
So how is Pollo gonna beat Matthias though?
But Matthias has that to actually gain leverage, to maintain ring generalship. But
Mhm.
Boyle just knows how to Boyle has really good IQ, bro. Like he knows how to behave like a fighter. Like he does just because you're trying to like gain gain ring generalship or trying to get to the center of the ring, or you're trying to win that battle of whose space is whose. Um Boyle, usually guys engage in that type of war, but Boyle lets you be. He's like, hey, you want to go there? Go there. I'm gonna just jab you while you're going there. Like he's good like that, but he's gotten hurt before. You know, so um, but he's gotten hurt against a Russell, uh, Anthony Russell. I don't know his first name. There's so many of
Gary
them.
Antoine Russell.
Yeah, yeah, Gary Anton Russell. Like he's uh yeah, like he had him hurt, but he didn't have that finishing move to really get to Puello. And for him to not finish him, I feel like Matias doesn't have that either. He doesn't have that finishing. Doesn't have that finishing move that's capable of hurting a lot of dudes is Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios
Hmm.
has this four hook combination and he doesn't know what to do after that. Like he's so out of like he's so basic. It's like, dude, you're gonna change it up. Like you gotta set it up. Like he's hurting his guys, but then he's letting his guys recover because his guys have like figured him out. Like, oh, you're gonna do the same four hook combination. I got you.
Oh
And
yeah,
so it's like not smart. So it's an IQ thing. It's more than anything. Like, yes, you're capable of hurting me, but your IQ isn't all there. Matthias does the same shit, but he
true,
also
true.
he also changes it up with that hook that I was telling you about. But I mean, he doesn't do that against. He hasn't fought in a Puello before. So I got Puello by decision.
So let me ask you, what you know the thing about Alberto Puello, right? Is that he has had a couple of very close fights, like that one with Gary Antoine Russell. Yeah, he won, but it wasn't like a complete shutout, right? It wasn't like he dominated the guy. In fact, I'm pretty sure some people would have some disputes. Hey, the Mexican G, ¿Qué hubo, carnalito? How you doing, brother? I hope you are doing well of health. And the saint of mine, he says, ¿Qué hubo, Vicente? To Vince Vargas, the Mex G. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. It's just that this stupid StreamYard thing. It doesn't let us know when messages comes in. And look, guys, it's the free version. It's very cheap. It's complicated. They do it on purpose in order to entice you to spend more money, which I'm not gonna do because we don't, one, go live enough. Two, we don't solicit any kind of payments. Three, we're not interesting enough. We're just those guys that you hop on there to listen in while you're playing, you know, PS4 in the middle of the night. But or hopefully you're having sex with your lady and you're listening to us in the background. But otherwise, we can't afford the good stuff. But the Mexican cheese says, I think Shakur should play Sonic in the Love Action movie. He runs enough. Yeah. Orale, orale. So, but here's the thing, Dream. Alberto Puello, he had a very close fight with none other than Sandor Martin, the guy who made Mikey Garcia retire, and who many people think he beat in Teofimo Lopez. You know, and of course he had that very tough fight with Gary Anton Russell, which he won, but he didn't look spectacular, if I remember correctly. How did those fights either prepare him for a Matthias or maybe expose him to losses? Because that means that there's two people out there, Russell and Martin, that can do good stuff against Puello.
Um, Wait, Boyle hasn't lost.
No, he hasn't lost, but some people allege that he should have lost to Sandor Martin, because Sandor Martin basically did the same kind of thing that he did to Teofimo Lopez. Well, if I remember correctly, from what people say, right? But
I
he
thought,
took those wins.
yeah, no, I thought Boyle won that fight, bro. I watched it. I thought he won that fight fair and square, but
Oh,
because
really?
Martin,
Oh, okay. Maybe I misremember then.
yeah, because Martin's a smaller guy, but it was close. But it wasn't like Martin had his moment. Like he did have his like moments here and there, but I'm saying he didn't have his moment as far as like he never really like made him look dumb. Pretty much like maybe like made his head pop back once or twice, but I don't really remember Boyle's head snapping back crazy amount of times. Not like Martin. Martin's head was popping back all night. So
Wow,
it was those type of fights.
really?
It was those type of fights, but Martin definitely like uh punched had a little more thump on his shit. I do remember this fight though. But I felt like Boyle was just too consistent, way too consistent for him not to get the win.
Okay. All right. So I guess you got Puello for that dub, right?
Yep, I got him, bro. Like it's
Unanimous decision, majority
yeah,
decision,
unanimous,
knockout.
bro. Like honestly,
Unanimous.
I rather bet. I think the Sean Cepeda, or I mean Sean Cepeda. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it right. No, I didn't. Uh, Cameron. I think that fight. I think I think Cepeda's gonna win by knockout.
Wait, Zepeda, Cameron Zepeda is going to beat Shakur Stevens by knockout.
Yep.
Wow, what are you? Bro, you're talking about beating one of the most defensive, potentially negative fighters in the sport right now, who's a three-division champion. It's Cameron Zepeda, who maybe should have lost to Tevin Farmer, a guy who moved up in weight, who pretty much made Zepeda looked basic. Yep, and the second time around he stopped him. But you think this guy can knock out Shakur Stevens? How does he do that?
With the 1-2, 1-2. No, I'm just kidding.
1, 2, 1, 2, knockout.
Nah, I
I
don't know.
think Ice Cube said that, right? Or was it
Yeah,
Ice?
it's just the fact that he's the highest amount of punches thrown. Like like Shakur's never been in the ring with a fighter like this, and he gets caught a lot. I haven't seen him and too much adversity, especially with a guy of this. um of this caliber as far as like hasn't messed with the dude like that, like at all. Josh Padley was an electrician, like he was better off knocking him out, you know. And Artem was too much of a mover. Um, De Los Santos, he was running from De Los Santos, so he's gonna. I think he's just gonna chase him, and he's gonna do a way better job, you know, catch him in the corners. But yeah, I was kind of bullshitting, honestly. Um,
What are you talking about? Are you telling me the truth or are you BSing?
I feel like I'm bullshitting, but I want Sean. But I don't know. I'm kind of fuck. I'm sleepy, but yeah, I don't
All
know.
right, all right, all right. Well,
I'm
before
kind
you
of.
go to sleep, man, before you go to sleep, I'm just going to pick your brain real quick. All right, I want you to just call him out real quick, all right? We're going to start from the bottom to the top. Okay. So let's see if we could get you. And if you guys want to comment who you guys think will win, let me know, guys. Put your stuff right there in the comment. But let me see. Okay, let's see if you could call this one right here. Alberto Puello versus Gabriel Matthias. I guess you went Puello. Okay. David Morrell versus Imam Katayev. David Morrell, 11 and 1 loss to David the Monster, Mexican Monster Benavides, to Imam Gatsayev, 10 wins, 0 losses, light heavyweight match for the belt. Well, for no belt, actually. Um, and we know that David Morrell put a man from the same country as Katayev in a coma, right? Another undefeated fighter, he put him in a coma, almost killed him. And the guy never fought again. David Morrell just recently lost to David Benavides, and he's fighting a fighter that was popped for pets just a year and a half ago. Who's gonna win that and how?
Which fight?
Katsev, Morrell.
Oh, I think Kata, bro. Kata
Bro,
by
look,
knockout.
are you just being controversial? I mean, what do you know that I don't, bro? Like, I mean, okay, I'll be honest with you. I never call fights, but what do you know that I don't?
Kata is another archer. Better be, bro. He's been in the Olympics. I forget which medal he's gotten, but he is a medalist. Um, I think gold, a gold medalist, bro. I'm gonna check right now. But yeah, bro, he's nothing to play with, bro. Like he's a way better caliber fighter than David Benavides is like amateur pedigree. Like he's messing with a
True,
dude
true.
with power and IQ, bro. Like this guy is another better be, bro. And I think he's gonna knock him out, bro. Like he's Morel. Morel wasn't ready. Like they said, Morel wasn't ready for David Benavides, and I feel like Morel was like he wasn't scraping through like to go to the distance. You know, like I feel like he really needed the time that he needed that he asked for to prepare for Benavides, and still ended up with the results. But um,
Mm.
I think Cartel's just gonna catch him, bro. Like he's another better be, bro. He's gonna and he probably punches harder. And he's good. You know, he's like messed with dudes. Like he beat Ben Whitaker in the amateurs, bro. So he's nothing to play with, bro. And he's like,
Wow, he beat Ben Whitaker, the flashy, flamboyant.
yeah,
Wow, okay, that's impressive because that guy is a silver medalist.
yeah. Actually, Katev's never medaled, but yeah, he's beaten Ben Whitaker, and he's beaten. Let me see. I'm looking at it now. So many damn Russians that he's been. Yeah,
Damn Ruskies.
I know, but yeah, it says right here, yeah, he's beating Ben Whitaker, bro. But yeah, dude, he's nothing to play with, bro. Like he's
Okay, so Alberto, I'm just gonna let you go to sleep, bro. Alberto Puello's gonna UD Subir Matias, David Morel and Imam Katev. Imam Katev, in your opinion, he's gonna catch him. He's gonna surprise him, and is he gonna win by UD, MD, or KO?
Who?
Katsayev. You
Oh,
said he's gonna
KO.
beat Morel.
Oh yeah, KO.
Wow!
I'll just
All
yeah,
right.
KO.
Wow. You know that Morel took all those heavy punches from David, and he never once got faded like that, right?
I
But I
never
mean,
thought
hey,
I never thought David punched hard.
true. That's true. It's more of a cumulative effect. Okay. And
Yeah.
you said Shakur Stevens is going to be upset by William Cepeda, and you said William Cepeda is going to win. How again?
I don't know. It's
Did you
kind of
say knockout? No, no, no. You said something controversial. Did you say knockout?
well, it could be a decision, bro, because of his punch output. You know,
Ah, okay, like a premature stoppage or
no, just points. You know,
majority.
yeah,
It would have to be majority. Shakur Stevens
yeah.
is too good
I
to
think they're
be
both.
one
I think
knocked out.
I think they're both pillow fisted actually, but they just use their hands differently. One is speed, other one is just I'ma just touch you as many times as I can. You know,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
yeah, they
Okay,
just use their hands differently.
and the last one, I think you already called it. Edward Berlanga is going to be facing Hamza Shiraz. Berlanga with a 23-1 record. Hamza Shiraz to 21-0. You said Hamza Shiraz is going to knock this guy out, even though you want Berlanga to knock him out.
Wait, no, I didn't say Hamza's gonna knock him out.
Are you sure? That's why I said. That's why I said. No,
No,
no, no. Are you sure, bro? I'm pretty sure you said Hamza's gonna knock this guy out, but you wanted Edgar Berlanga to knock him out, and I
no,
asked you why.
I said I'll box this guy.
Oh, I'll box this guy. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
he's not gonna knock him out.
But
He'll
you want,
win
but
decision.
you want Edgar to knock him out, right?
Yeah, if he wins,
To upset Turkey's
yeah,
wishes.
yeah.
Okay. What if I was to tell you that Turkey is a big believer in manifestation, just like Mr. Vince Vargas and me? I was just preaching manifestation at the beginning of the show. What if I was to tell you that he just wants to manifest the best fights in his opinion? I mean, you know, man, you guys just hate on Turkey. I love that guy,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, all right, whatever, guys. So, anyways, okay, we ran through all of the fights. I'm excited for tomorrow. Are you gonna sponsor this event? Are you gonna pay for this pay per view or what?
Sponsor. I work tomorrow.
Uh,
And I think I might have a date. So
really
yeah,
nice. Well,
maybe. We'll see. But um, yeah, man, it's just been really busy at work. I've been everywhere. I've been
I've been
in.
everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. So all right. So hey, look, I told you that I went to pick up my nephews, right, over there from up north, near
Oregon,
the yeah, past Oregon, near the nearly at the
Mammoth Lake.
yeah, all the way to the state of Washington, right? And my brother, he's got 7 children. I brought 5 down for the summer so they could hang out with us. We're going to teach them baseball. We're going to teach them
Hey,
boxing. We're going to take them to the river. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. Let me ask you something. Are
you're gonna
you, do you protect yourself, bro? Because my brother sure doesn't. I don't think he knows what protection is. Do you protect yourself when you're out on dates? Or are you like one of those dirty guys?
dirty guy.
Yeah, yeah. You're a raw dogger.
No, sometimes, but
That's
depends.
good.
But I
If
don't
she's
really.
cooked, if
I
she's
don't
cute,
have to.
right?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that here and there. But yeah,
But
but
you were born with a non-functioning one, or what? You performed a vasectomy or something?
nah. I was gonna ask you
You
a
were, uh huh.
question. Sorry. But now go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
No, I was just gonna wish you good luck tomorrow with your date. Hopefully it goes good. Hopefully you get some, bro.
Yeah, man. I just want some head. But
Head is, yeah. Well, I mean, head is good. If they know how to give it,
yeah,
not every chick knows how to give head, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
just
dude, I
honest.
was
I'm
gonna ask
just
you.
being honest.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Hmm.
Have you heard of the Zodiac killer?
Yeah, you saw he. I used to think it was Theodore Kaczynski, even though there's some allegations that it may still be. But Theodore
Really?
Kaczynski is a person that I read his manifesto because I was very intrigued by 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 his manifesto. Right, he thought that the industrial world that we live in is very destructive to the planet, and he wanted to start some kind of revolution by sending out these envelopes in these surprise attacks to professors, politicians, judges, and things of the sort. And then there was a lot of
What
people
type
that
of
just kept.
people? What type of
Hmm?
people was the Zodiac killer killing?
Well, I think he started killing like lovers, right? Like
Oh,
he
okay.
would kill like people on dates that just happened to go and hide to like you know to consummate their love, like young guys and young girls that would take their vehicles up into the hills where nobody could see them, usually to try and get some pookie, and then this guy just would catch him and shoot him. Why are you bringing up the Zodiac killer?
Oh shit, dude. Honestly,
El
I had no idea.
Pachuco.
That kind of
You
that
don't
kind
know
of
why. You don't know why you brought this guy up. El Pachuco, look at El Pachuco, bro. And
nah,
Maddie
bro.
Matty, bro. Look at Katie Taylor fights like Shakur. Yup, exactly, gold member. Exactly.
It feels like
Katie Taylor put on one of the worst performances of any female fighter. In fact, what I admire about the female side of the sport is that for the most part, their lack of technique means that they're unafraid, and lack of power also. They're unafraid of just engaging each other violently. So you can expect a lot of very aggressive, high output, come forward fights. And man, we did not see that with Katie Taylor tonight. She put up a stinker. And it's hard for me to say that because I'm a big fan of Katie Taylor. In fact, I have a crush on her. Right, I have a crush on her,
how?
and I I lament to say, I regret to say it, that this woman stunk up the place, bro. You cannot have a fight like the first and the second fight that you had, and then put up this kind of performance. It was boring. It was uneventful. It stunk up the place, and I hope she retires, bro. But yeah, I agree with you, Medic, or AKA Gold Member. She fights like Shakur Stevens. Mr. Vince Vargas wishes Pachuco a fist to the. What the? Are you punching Pachuco? Vince, are you trying to punch? Are you trying to fight? But no, no, you put up a thumbs up there. He's saying, "Oh, you're saying like pound and then finger up, like, hey, how you doing?" Gold member says, "If they only put that effort in making me a sandwich instead." Oh my God, such a man, bro. Such a typical misogynistic man. Um, Dream, you still never told me, bro. Why did you bring up the Zodiac killer?
I don't know. It feels like I just asked you that, and you bring up. I just said the word date, and then you said that dude kills people on dates. I'm like, what the fuck? You messing with me right now? You messing with me right now? But
No, bro, I'm not messing with you.
hmm. The reason why I brought that up is because I think it's maybe my algorithm, right? I think you say that word. I see in the movie, like the trailer, and I was like, oh shit, he does, I was like wondering why he was like killing those people. But yeah, um, I'm still like looking into it because I guess people from like someone from like Salinas, these couples from Salinas, decrypted one of his like his ciphers, his first ones or something like that. So they solved it, and it kind of brought it up. Like somebody solved it like 2 days ago. So
Excuse me.
yeah, somebody solved it like 2 days ago, and they're from Salinas, and they decrypted it. It's in the news, and that's what kind of made me like look into it, And I was like, oh shit. And I guess there's more, but somebody actually solved it, and they're from Salinas. Hello? I'm scared.
But did you
You cut out. You cut out the whole
a
time.
girl?
You cut out the whole time. And you're still cutting out right now. I'm not sure if it's me. Hey, chat. Is it me or is it this guy? You guys
No, I
can
think
hear
it's
me,
me,
right?
bro.
Okay.
No,
Well,
it's me, bro. It's.
okay, I can hear you now.
I
I
just
can hear you now.
realized.
I can
Okay,
hear you now.
so
Say it
yeah,
all
so I
over.
realized. Okay, so realized that I'm using a device that is getting internet in order for me to broadcast, right? And I'm not calling from a cell phone. I'm calling from a mobile phone that has to be connected to the internet. So right now, I ignorantly, knowingly walked away from the proximity of the modem. So I started to. We almost lost.
There he goes again.
Which is the hometown where we live.
Damn.
Uh,
Nope. Can't hear you. Let's see. Talk again. Nope.
in a
Nothing.
bomber or the Zodiac killer or whatever. Wait, nothing.
Yeah. I heard the last part. Say it again. Nothing.
Wait, okay, can you hear me or no?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, man, it's just that I walked away from the hotspot or whatever, right? But okay, you talked about how these guys decrypted some, I don't know, Zodiac killer,
Yeah.
Unabomber messaging. Okay, I'm not too sure if you know this, but it was another person from Salinas. I think it was either an eighth grader or an 8-year old that tracked the lineage of all the presidents of the United States, right? That was like her homework, right? She decided to find out, the history of all the presidents of the United States. And she used like ancestry.com or some kind of lineage system. I think actually she used one of the local libraries, genealogical uh, reference materials, and she is the one who made the connection that all the presidents in the U.S. history have all been related to each other. This is a Salinas native, I think an eighth grader or an 8-year old, who, along with her parents, discovered that every single president can be connected and traced back to like the original founding fathers, like the 13 families that first came from Europe over here to the United States and they invented the 13 colonies, they formed the 13 colonies in the US. This person, this little kid, found out that George Washington is
Little
a
kid.
long lost family member to Barack Obama. Barack Obama is related to the Bushes. The Bushes are related to the Kennedys, so forth and so on. Bro, that's incredible. All these people forming these connections in this little boring town of Salinas. Maybe that's the reason they could do it, right? Because of the time they got on their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what trips me out. I was like, dude, that's crazy that back like with the Zodiac killer, like he was going around Northern California just killing people, and he was like documenting it and all that. Not sure if you know that, do you?
Uh, what?
The Zodiac killer?
They caught him or what?
Nah, dude, they never caught him.
What my god, man! I'm telling you, it's Theodore Kaczynski, bro. There's no other
So
person. It has to be him.
yeah, bro. So they never caught the man, and you know, they're like, dude, like this guy has like hella murders, and he's just throughout Northern California, you know, throughout like in Redwood City, the Bay Area, San Francisco, like Like San Rafael. Like in the movie, there was like this scene where he was like in San Rafael in certain parts that I
Mm-hmm.
recognized. I was like, dude, this shit reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, they never caught him, and he has like freaking. I don't know. Let's see how many. I'm gonna see it right now. How many people? Man, I wish I had like AI so they can just hear it.
And
Uh,
Pachuco says saludos. Gold member says Katie Taylor fight sex Shakur. Yup. Vince Vargas fist pump thumbs up. If only they put that effort in making me a sandwich instead. Laffy Vince fist bump Arimeri. Gold member says, "Is that the Mexican or Vince that I saw on YouTube live chats?" Um, I'm not too sure if you would have seen them, Gold member, but I sometimes run into another Vargas. I think the other one's name is like not Vince. It's like something with a V also, like Vance, but not Vince. It's like Vance or something Vargas, right? Oh no, Vegas Vargas. I think that's what his name is. Oh no, Vince Vegas. There you go, Vince Vegas. And sometimes when I run into him, I always think it's the same guy, but it's not. Sorry, it's not the same person. But I'm like, yo, I should say hi, but no, 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 that's not him. Um, so I'm probably thinking that maybe it's the Mexican G that you would have ran into. That guy, he says, fix your internet, slow speed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to explain, right? That I walked away from the modem. I forgot that I was not on the cell phone, guys. I'm using a mobile device that's connected to the internet. So it doesn't have like satellite reception or nothing. So here I am walking. I'm about to drive off home, and I forgot I'm using this phone that has to have connection to a house. So that's why when I was walking away, I almost lost you guys. Let me see. Let's see what El Pachuco says. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper to you too, El Pachuco. I hope you've been doing well of health and sane of mind, carnalito. Man, and actually, you know what? I'm not too sure if any of those regions are that have been affected by that crazy storm over there in Texas are around you, Pachuco, and it doesn't even have to, right? But I just hope that you and the people from the great state of Texas are doing well, helping each other, and that you guys can overcome that horrific tragedy. Which by the day we have hundreds more people confirmed. I think the last time that I counted, it was about 52 young little girls and about 102 confirmed dead and numerous missing. Horrible, horrible, the kind of things that can happen to us humans here on this incredibly beautiful but very violent and tremendous planet that we live in. Mr. Vince Vargas says, not sure, depends what the fights were. Gold member says, it would have been random YouTube live videos, non boxing. I think it was Mexican G though. Oh, non boxing. Okay. So you guys have other interests besides boxing? Man, I'm envious of you guys. The homie Ricky ends it by saying Barack related to the Orange Man, Chales Tamales. That eighth grader is DUMB. One is black, the other is sunburned. Hey, homie Ricky, you shut up about our president, bro. They're all related, and that's that. Dream, I welcome you tomorrow to our home. Well, my mother's home, my parents' home, which is where we all gather about to watch the fights. So tomorrow I'll be paying for those fights like always, and probably grilling something. And you're welcome to come. Everybody, you guys are welcome to join in. If we can go live, talk about it. Maybe we can call each other. Maybe call the rounds as they're going, see who's winning. But tomorrow is going to be a very incredible fight weekend again. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys make time with your loved ones to get together and watch other people beat up on each other. It's beautiful, and please take time to enjoy the victories. Look, in case you guys have not been aware, Mr. Vince Vargas has an icon for his image. It's a beautifully bronze or gold colored 1975 Cutlass Hearst, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's not the Hearst model, but it's a Cutlass. A very unique vehicle that I didn't even know that existed. And maybe if I did, I hadn't seen one in real life, and I still haven't, right? But Vince manifested that car into a reality, and he was able to make his dreams come true. He always wanted to own that vehicle, and he got it. He has a victory. We just talked at the beginning of a show my own little personal victories of not having crashed and killed myself when I was coming back after nearly 30-hour drive with only 3 hours of sleep from state of Oregon over here back to California where I reside. I almost crashed. I made it out. I'm okay. That's a victory in my book. But I want you to look around you. Look at those that love you. Look at yourself. You just think, what can I celebrate as far as a win? And I think once you do that, you'll feel good about yourself, right? And I encourage you to think that because life is so unpredictable, you could have a breath right now, but it's not promised tomorrow. If you start living your life as if today might be your last day on earth, everything you do will be of the utmost importance. You will perform every single task before you with earnest and vigor. You will love those that you love wholeheartedly, no compromise. If I was to tell you that you aren't promised tomorrow, it would change your life. Enjoy every single day like it's your last, because you never know when you gotta go. For Dream 123, El Pachuco, Homie Ricky, Adi Medi, Vince Vargas, and every other person out there in the middle of the night listening to these words, I hope you are doing well of health and sane of mind. Love those around you. Love yourself. Be well. Engage.
Peace.